Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Boicast game show. I'm your host, little man Hanley, and I'm here with my contestant, and his name is. What's your name, contestant? Please introduce yourself.
Hello. I am contestant 7654327X.
It's great to see you, contestant 72454X. I appreciate you being on the show, the Gamecast, as we like to call it in the hood. I will give you one question and one question only for the $1 million question. Would you like to phone a friend?
No. No.
All right. What is the color blue?
Correct. Holy crap. I wanted to try and make it like the robot overthought it and then just started malfunctioning, but my throat just couldn't take that noise.
I actually heard your throat just giving up halfway, and I was just like, oh god, he's gonna keep going. And then you're just like, no!
Let me drink.
Hey guys, welcome back to the podcast.
I was sticking to the bit, dude.
Oh wait, oh shit, we back?
Welcome back to... No, I meant just like that noise, because like halfway through that, my throat gave out, but I was sticking to the bit, and I was going for it.
Hello, friends. Welcome to the Boicast.
You're close. Mine's not fully there. I want to get better at it. I used to be really good at it.
I'm trying my best.
Like, I used to, on CS, whenever I'd bag someone, I used to go,
John Madden.
Taste my nuts. There's like a few things I can say that just work, and then I try and say anything else, I just can't. Because each letter they do has like a tone to it, and I need to learn the tone of each letter or phrase that they do. And because like, what's that game?
Moonbase Alpha.
Moonbase Alpha, isn't it, where they sing?
That's the
and they
one.
go like,
yeah.
A-E-I-O. And then you can have them like,
You
fly me to the moon.
let me play among the stars.
Like,
Let me see what spring is.
oh Jesus, you sound like you've smoked 20 a day for the past 4 years.
And Mars.
That's actually like, I'm gonna be real.
Yeah.
That's like a lot of the voices that I make, like that I learn how to do. I do it by trying to do bad impressions of other voices, right? And that voice that just came out of my mouth, right? I kind of think I can do something with that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I kind of think I can actually do something with that. It doesn't sound like John Madden, and it doesn't sound like what I'm thinking of, right? But like, maybe I can just do something with that. I'm thinking about it.
That's reminded me of like an idea I had for the podcast. Like, we had a little game we could play on it one day. Probably not today because it's late and you said your throat's not doing great. But I was thinking,
I'm dead.
we just give each other like, pardon me, Jesus, that came on over. We sort of give each other a character and we've got to try and mimic their voice. You know, like.
Oh,
like, we just do back and forwards, no prep, no, like, we just think of the character off the top of our head and just go, you know what I mean? Like, that could be quite fun.
It's kind of like the first skit that we did with the SpongeBob skit. That,
little
like,
bit, yeah.
That one episode, yeah.
Yeah, but I was thinking we just do it with more obscure characters, like, you go to me, like, do an Invader Zim impression.
Zim, like...
Zim's one of the voices I want to fucking nail. I love the voice, but no way I'm ever going to do it.
Dude, have you seen the actual voice actor of Zim actually perform?
I haven't, you know.
He's so amazing, right? Because like that, there's a lot of the stuff that I do to learn how to do voice acting and stuff like that is the fact that it's a weird thing to say, but you have to pay attention to other voice actors' mouth and like their body language and stuff like that, right? And like, usually you'd think, like, when you see somebody doing, say, like, an orc voice, they're like,
yeah,
you know, like, you kind of make an O with your mouth, and you kind of go, what are you doing? What are you doing? Kind of thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's kind of like, you do that, and then you do that, and then if you want to get, like, say you want to do more of the... I'm trying my best, but, like, you always learn through other people's mouths. So if you sit there and think, right? So when you want to do like a Peter Griffin, right? You kind of put one side of your face up.
Yeah,
right?
you like force your mouth to the other side and be like, Hey, Lois.
Hey, Lois.
Hey, Lois. Lois.
Same thing with
Ah.
Stewie. Stewie's like a weird thing. He's like, you have to like purse your lips a little bit.
Yeah, you
with,
have to
like,
push your
under-
lips and put your
it's like,
chin out a bit, don't you? Like a, ooh, Lois. Ooh.
Ooh, Lewis. It just sounds like
Brian.
Donald Trump.
Brian.
Ooh.
Oh, Brian, I'm in the White House, Brian. I am the president,
Stewie,
Brian.
get out of the White House.
No,
Stewie, get out. Stewie,
no,
get
Brian.
out of the White House. Stewie,
Brian.
I swear,
Brian.
you are not the president.
Brian. No, Brian. I am
Brian, look out!
Brian. I'm a gay baby, Brian.
No.
Yes,
God
I
damn
think it's time for a sexy party. Oh.
Like, it's so crazy though when I was saying about like the Invader Zim voice actor. The Invader Zim voice actor, when he's doing his performance and when he's doing these things, he's constantly got his mouth open.
Oh, really?
Like constantly, it's constantly unhinged, right? It's like, and you sit there and like every now and then he'll close it, but then when he's doing the laugh, it's just like, like how does he do the laugh? How does he do the laugh? I have no idea. But like he's
dude.
constantly got his mouth open and you can see the tongue going crazy, right? And usually when you're doing voiceover and stuff like that, you kind of want to control your tongue a little bit because a flappy tongue means more mouth sounds and all those type of things, right? But you like you know like when Invader Zim laughs and he's kind of got the tongue sticking out.
Yeah,
It's kind of like that when he's performing.
you kind of have to do that.
Yeah. So you kind of just like, whoa, you know, how much of this was taken from the show and how much of it was taken from the actor because he's superb. I've forgotten his name.
It's
hate
Richard
doing this.
Horvitz.
It is Richard Horvitz. Oh my god, I absolutely love him.
Because I'd
absolute
I'd
bits.
love to do Zim's voice, especially his like angry voice. Who's like, I am Zim, like the.
That's like, to be honest, like
Love that
your
shit.
voice tone isn't too far off of the kid.
Oh yeah,
Zeb.
yeah.
Like, to be honest, with a bit of practice, you could definitely do a. It's not Zeb, it's
Dib?
Jeb, I think.
Dib?
Is it Dib? Is it Invader Zim?
Yeah, it's Dib membrane.
Is it Dib? Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I want to do a fucking Dib, but I can't. I can't do it at all, dude. It's so hard.
Ever since I was a kid, it's always been about my boy Gurr. And guess what I had for my tea today? For my tea today,
yeah.
I had chicken rice.
Dude, it's actually weird to see the actual actor do, because like usually you just don't expect like actors to have that many effects on them. But like even when the Gurr actor talks in real life, you know it's Gurr.
You can
even
just
though
hear
there's
it, yeah.
so many different effects and stuff like that, right? like because I don't know why, but I watched a video of him screaming one day. And I was just like, that's Gurr.
I feel sorry for whoever voices Gurr, because they, like, I hope they've done so much screaming, like, preparation and, like, that they don't destroy their throat every time they do a line.
Oh, I'm gonna be real. No matter how much prep you do for screaming,
I know, but that's what I mean. I just hope he's done enough that it doesn't permanent damage. You know what I mean?
There is like certain techniques you can do, right? So like there's one technique where you before, like, don't jump into a scream, right? You go to the very bottom, you just like like literally. You may think, oh, but isn't that more like tearing on your voice? But it's like you're building up.
But
a
your
scale.
body knows. Yeah, it's like it's instead of it just going from neutral, ripped straight up to high. It's got that curve. It's like a car. A car would break if you went from stationary to immediately like 90 miles per hour. Like,
dude, it's the same thing, man. Vocal exercise is so important, but they do not save your voice. The only thing that will save your voice is ginger tea. Dude,
And
ginger
waffles.
tea and honey and waffles.
those
Dude,
these
ginger
ones
tea
got
and
peanuts and soap in them. Intruder, prepare to come on in. Oh, I love Gus so much, dude.
I got to say, like, with Gur's character, Gur is just kind of a happy dude.
I love
It's
it.
like, yeah, you know, like, I don't know why, like, because Invader Zim was always like a big part of me growing up, right? Just the entirety of Invader Zim. I watched that every time I came back from school, and I'd just be just like, oh my god, I'm so excited, but I don't know. There was never a reason. Well, when I was younger, I didn't understand why Gur was my favorite character, right? And I don't think you ever do.
No.
But I always was just like, I like Gur. I like Gur the most. And then, like, as I grew older, I was just like, oh my god, he's annoying like me.
It's because Gur's the main source of the comedy in Invader Zim. Whereas, like, there is a lot of comedy through Zim and shit, like, but a lot of it is quite an edgy show, isn't it? In some places.
It's fucked.
So Gur just comes in and just purely flips that edginess on his head, like the whole episode where Gur takes over the house's computer just so he can go and get some tacos. And shit. Like, we watched the film the other week, didn't we? Because we didn't even talk about it on the cast, man. We didn't even talk about
We
it.
haven't. We can talk about it now, man.
And like, we watched it, and well, it was like my second time watching it. But right after that, I just started watching the show because I was like, I never fully like.
You never watched the show.
I watched the show, yeah, but I didn't watch it religiously. I caught like a few episodes, but those few episodes like not engraved. What the fuck? Like melded into my memory as like I know Invader Zim. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it made such a good impression that I watched like a few episodes that it just became like, yeah, this is one of my favorite cartoons, and that's all I've seen. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, there was just something about it as a kid that I was like, this is so fucking cool. And it was like at its peak when I went to America as well. So when we went to Hot Topic, everything in there was Invader Zim, and we were like, ooh.
That's the thing though I've got to say about like Invader Zim's character design as well. Like you could put it on a shirt and everyone just be like, oh, that's a cool shirt. You know what I mean? You didn't have to be a part of the show to like really enjoy. Like, I remember there was like a logo of like just Invader Zim's head, right? And it was black and white. And I was just like, that is such a cool little thing. And then like a little while later, I was just like, that's an Invader Zim shirt. And I didn't even how did I not know? Like, that's the thing. Well, to be honest, I don't know if it's like nostalgia, right?
Yeah.
But I do think all like the early cartoons are just like they were all so different and so iconic.
Well, no, I watched
you know
something about this the other day about early cartoons because I watched a thing about SpongeBob. It was like this, how SpongeBob lost its sort of character down the line. It's like with the first season of like most cartoons from back then, everything was like hand drawn and done with cells. Like, it was all, none of it was computer animated. And I think that's why it played such a big part in creating these iconic characters. Whereas if you watch stuff now, a lot of cartoons play it safe with just digital characters and sort of safe designs to be like...
They do use the puppet technique, don't they?
Yeah, because, you know, like, if a character's soft and round, it makes them more likable. So more kids will be like, whoa, that character's cool. Oh, it's so cute. Oh, all this. But then you go back to, like, back in the day, you had SpongeBob, like, the first scene of SpongeBob was all hand-drawn with cells, and it was looked rough. He was square, which wasn't, like, you know, was completely against all the characters back then. Every character back then was, like, rounded or, like, nice, whereas SpongeBob was a fucking rectangle, like, and he had, like, this really weird sort of drawing style to him because it was all hand-drawn, and then he sort of lost that characterization in the next few seasons when it became digital. But it was the same with stuff back then, though, because they had all these characters that were really... The ones that stood out were the ones that didn't play by the rules. Like, Invader Zim was very dark.
Courage the Cowardly Dog.
Yeah, it was very dark, and he had really pointed edges, and he had these, like, this zigzaggy tongue and all this shit. And then SpongeBob was weird, and then he had Courage the Cowardly Dog that was super fucking... What?
Like, super messed up. Like,
was that shit?
Actually, now that you actually bring that up, by the way...
brain. Yeah.
Actually, now that you bring that up, by the way, okay, I'm gonna list off a bunch of cartoons, right? Which I fucking adored when I was younger, right? So, the first one that I can think of, which is one of my favorite cartoons ever, is called Ed, Edd n Eddy, right?
Ed, Edd n Eddy.
The tone of cartoons has changed a little bit. Like, I think they're both like both great. Like I like the new tone of the newer generation of cartoons, and I like the old tone of the older generations of cartoons, right?
Yeah.
But the older tone of the cartoons, right? You had Ed, Edd n Eddy, which is three fellas, like constantly losing all the time in like a cul-de-sac trying to scam people of their hard-earned cash, right?
Yeah.
And then you had Johnny Bravo, a dude just trying to get some poon.
That's what, yeah,
You know?
like,
You know?
it's so weird to think back, isn't it? Because, like,
Yeah.
you wouldn't have that shit in, like, cartoons now, but back then it'd be like, hey, pretty mama.
Yeah, right? Yeah.
Want to go back to my place? It's like, whoa.
There is
Cartoon
exceptions
Network.
to these rules. There is exceptions. Because have you watched, it's a cartoon made in Ireland. Gumball.
Oh, Gumball. Yeah, Gumball's
Yeah.
weird, though. Well, because, no, Gumball came around at a time when cartoons were all pretty shit and playing it safe. Then it was like, Adventure Time, Gumball, and regular show came out of nowhere and were like, no, cartoons can still be fucking cool. And that's
It's
when
like
it came around.
there was a little bit of like, because like that's the thing with like the tone of cartoons when you change it. Like before they were kind of just like, oh, you know, these are funny cartoons, but they also have kind of like a adult humor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
The same thing is now as like I feel like the generation that like is just being brought up now. Like I guess it still includes our generation, right? But I'm talking about people who go up with this generation of cartoons, right? Cartoons now have become a bit more focused on like loving yourself and like all that type of stuff. Like Steven's universe is all about like
Steven's universe.
yeah. Is it Steven's universe or
I think it's
Steven
Steven.
universe? Is
But
it?
you said
Stevens.
Stevens.
Oh, did I? Fuck. Well, anyway,
me
like
check.
Steven's universe is a very like positive show in its own way, right?
never
It's all
watched
about
it.
like connecting. Well, that's the thing. I've only watched like one season of it, and it was just a very positive show. The same thing with Adventure Time, right? You know, like when bad things happen in Adventure Time, bad things don't completely happen. You know what I mean?
I mean, he
Is
did
that-
lose his arm.
Did he lose his arm in Adventure
He has a
Time?
robot arm in like the later seasons.
What?
Shit actually happened in Adventure Time, dude. Like,
What?
Adventure Time got real.
What?
Yeah.
No
Finn
fucking way.
loses his arm. Yeah, Finn loses his arm. Oh, there's the clip of him losing his arm. Like, bad
What?
shit happened in Adventure Time, dude. Like, Adventure Time got real. That's what I'm saying. Like, Adventure Time, regular show, and Gumball was when things like Cartoon Network were like, right, let's actually start making good shows again.
Because didn't Cartoon Network go through their like live action phase?
Yeah,
little
they
bit.
tried to jump on Nick. Was it Nick or
Disney.
Disney?
Nickelodeon.
No, it was Nickelodeon. 'Cause
and
Nickelodeon had
Disney.
like Drake and Josh and shit, didn't it?
Yeah, they had
That's
Drake
why.
and Josh, and
So
they had,
Cartoon
like,
Network were like, "Ooh, let's try that," and then everyone was like, "No, you're Cartoon Network. Stop that."
wait, oh, dude, was That So Raven a Nickelodeon show or a Disney
No, that was
show?
Disney.
That was Disney, yeah. And then you had The Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, which was also a Disney show.
Yeah, Disney had
Did
some
you watch
pretty good
that?
shows. They were like, thinking back to them now, if I watched them, I'd probably be like, "Oh, this is garbage." But if I went back and
At
watched
the
Nickelodeon
time, though.
shows like that, I'd be like, "Yo, this shit's good." Because I've heard like, apparently, if you go back and watch Drake and Josh now, it's just as good as you remember it.
That's the
But-
thing. I have gone back and back and watched certain episodes of Drake and Josh and stuff like that. I keep remembering the episode where he like runs over Oprah.
I hit Oprah.
Drake, where's the door hole?
Drake. See, this is what we were saying like the other week in the Discord. Like, me and Blair should be the new Drake and Josh. Like, we should start our own show.
Blair and Scott.
Yeah, the boys on internet. Like,
Did
it's
you,
an iCarly type show where we have our own internet show.
Did you actually speaking of iCarly, did you would you say iCarly, like, listen, I loved iCarly when it first came out. I
really
think
enjoyed
do.
it.
Yeah, I still think I do as well, but like is
It
it
got shit towards
is
the
it
end.
good? Well, yeah, but like
Well-
you know when you're watching something, right? Say like I don't know. Like when you're watching, say, like a Nickelodeon show, or when I was younger and stuff like that, where you had your like Skybox and stuff like that, and you had to wait for new episodes to come on.
Yeah.
Like with always the Nickelodeon shows, it would always be reruns and stuff like that. But I'd always just be like, well, you know, it might be a new episode.
See,
you know?
that's
So I
what's-
actually
yeah,
never
that's-
really got to the end of anything.
It's weird thinking back, like comparing today's TV and everything being on demand and all this. Like back in the day, you would watch the same like few episodes of a show for like weeks on end until the new episodes came out.
Yeah.
Because you just sit there with Nickelodeon on, and you'd watch the same episode of Drake and Josh about 4 times a day because it'd air 4 times a day. Like,
Yeah.
you would just sort of sit there and watch it and still be like, yeah, Drake and Josh, they got the Game Sphere. Yay! It's miracle!
Did you know Drake was actually the reason that I got my guitar?
Dude, Drake was the reason I grew my hair and got a guitar. Come on.
Dude.
Come on.
Dude, he's like, here's the thing though, like I always I sit there and think like, oh, he's not really that much of a Chad, but I was always just like, I want to be like Drake, but I'm more like Josh.
Well, because was there? Alright, hang on. Was there a scene where Drake's like kissing one girl and then he just starts kissing another? I can't remember.
Is there?
Hang on, Drake.
I just don't like. I feel like that might have been like a flashback scene because I don't actually think he got anything.
No, he kissed plenty of girls in the show.
Did he?
Yeah, you'd always see him on dates with like girls on when they'd go to the premiere theater where Josh worked, and they'd always go over to Josh and be like, "Hey, Josh, can I borrow $5?" And Josh would be like, "But I borrowed you $5 yesterday." And he'd be like,
Drake!
He'd be like, "Dude,
You
I'm
want to
trying
borrow
buy
another $5 from me?"
Yeah, he'd be like, "But dude, I'm trying to get some sody pops for me and the girl. Come on, dude." And he'd be like, "Drake, I gave you $5 yesterday."
Drake, who is this girl?
Yeah, that's about it.
Megan!
Because I remember, was it Selena Gomez was in it or not?
No, Selena Gomez wasn't in Drake and Josh. Selena Gomez was in Disney shows.
No, but genuinely, they had like some girl who turned out to be super famous.
Really?
Yeah.
There was a lot of cameos of people that I didn't know when I was younger. Probably now that I'll go back, I'll just be like, holy shit, these are actors.
Drake and Josh, let me search, like, Drake's girlfriends, because I remember. There was
Every time just Drake's girlfriends into Google, you get a very, very different outcome.
I remember one of them became, like, huge.
That's the thing.
She was in How I Met Your Mother. I know that much. Oh fuck.
You get Carly,
maybe it was
you got
in the
Lucy,
film.
you got Susan, you got Kelly Hayford. How many? Oh my god.
That's what I mean. He got mad slays in the show, dude. Like, even here, you can search by alphabetical order.
You know, actually, like, I've got to say, though, you know what's, like, weird about, like, when you look at the actors and his girlfriends and stuff like that? They, you know when you've got, like, that I'm an American actor look?
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you look at every single one of these girls, you know what I mean? Like you can already see their headshots, you know? The whole
was it.
Valley girl.
Vanessa Hudgens? You know the girl from High School Musical? Gabriela
really?
Montez. Yeah, she was in the same class as Drake in one of the episodes.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
But did she do that before High School Musical or after it?
She played Drake's girlfriend Becca on the episode of Drake and Josh, and she even had a kissing scene with the birthday man himself. Ooh la la, says MTV.com. Jesus Christ.
Dude, actually, did you ever have Bebo?
Oh yeah, I had a Bebo, dog. Come on.
Dude, everybody had a Bebo, dude.
Send me some love on Bebo, dude.
Dude, I'm gonna send you some love. Do you want some videos on my account?
Dude.
Dude, I've got the fucking
MySpace.
hamster
Check
dance.
out my playlist on MySpace, dude.
Dude, I've got the hamster dance on my Bebo, dude. You gotta check it out.
I've got the crazy frog on my MySpace.
Like, I don't know. Like, listen, I don't want to feel like a boomer, but is Bebo is Bebo like a thing that people wouldn't know of?
Yes.
Now, really?
I think so.
Am I a boomer?
Dude, we are.
Oh, fuck.
Like, no, like, I feel like there's enough people who have, like, older siblings, blah, 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 who will know of Bebo, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because that's, like, the main reason I do is because I had my brother who was on Bebo, and I was like, yo, dude, what's that? Can I have a Bebo? Whoa. And then I had a few years and barely used it because I was more outside than on a computer, which is fucking bizarre to think of.
Dude, I was like, here's the thing, right, with my Bebo. my Bebo, stuff like that. That actually, same thing. My sister had one, and she was just like, "Do you want one?" So I made you one. I was just like, "Okay, awesome. I don't know what this is." And then she's just like, "There's the hamster dance on there and stuff like that, and you can do your own thing." And I was just like, "That's great." So I
That's
just
cool.
like loaded up the computer, watched the hamster dance, and like the "Where Did I Go Wrong" song, because that was the only two videos on my thing. And I was really-
Somewhere along in the bitterness. It's a
that
tune,
song is
though.
still a tune. It's
It's a fucking
still a
banger.
tune.
Makes me cry every time.
It's a really sad song.
It's on a bit from Scrubs, and every time I watch that episode, I'm just like, bah, where did I go wrong?
Oh, that was the very end of Scrubs, right?
I don't think so. No, I think it was it when Brendan Fraser died?
It might have been.
Well, fuck. How to Save a Life. Let's see. My Lunch.
Step one, you bet, to talk, you walk.
Say sit down, it's just talk.
Smiles politely back at you.
You stare politely right on cue. Look through the window, through his eyes. Oh no, it's the episode about the woman who comes in who's all suicidal and that. Oh. No, because like she tries to play it off that she's not.
Yeah.
Like she has failing organs and they can't figure out why and all this, and then all this shit goes down, and then it's I can't remember what happens, but then it starts playing How to Save a Life, and you're like, bah!
Dude,
yeah.
that's the thing. Is there
Scrubs got real, dude. For a show that was about guy love, it got real sometimes. Like
Dude,
it was,
that's the thing, right? Like I didn't watch the season finale, but when it ended, I feel like everyone was telling me that like it was very, very emotional.
Oh yeah, it was fucking great. It's still one of my favorite shows. It was so good.
Is it still like the ending of Community? Like the ending of Community fucking destroyed
Well,
me.
no, because they fucked it basically with Scrubs. They couldn't leave it be. Because in what I call the last season, they started introducing these new characters into the main cast. Because when because in Scrubs they introduce these new characters as the interns every now and then, and they just sort of become side characters, goofy side characters. But in the last season, which was season 6, I believe. Season 8. Sorry. Yeah, in season 8, they had the new interns that they're introducing, and they're a bit too main character-esque, and you're like, why the fuck are they doing this? So that season 8 ends, like, they leave shit, like, it does all the sad shit. Then season 9 starts, where there's this girl who's the main character who was an intern, and then they were like, oh yeah, we've turned Sacred Heart into a college, and now it's a university hospital. Oh, here's all the new wacky characters. Here's all the new ones. And Dr. Cox is now the chief of medicine, and Turk's here sometimes. Like, and it was just like, oh man. So season 9 doesn't exist. It just ends at season 8. Season 9 just doesn't.
Season 9.
No, like
isn't
genuinely,
real.
ask anybody who enjoys Scrubs. Season 9 does not exist.
Is it still going now?
No, it stopped after a season.
Oh,
That's how.
I see.
Yeah. It was abrupt.
that's the thing with that's the thing would you see with like really long running shows, because I remember there's a couple of shows that I always when I think about old shows. Did you ever watch Malcolm in the Middle?
Every now and then, I wasn't huge on it.
Dude,
Yeah.
the weird thing about Malcolm in the Middle which made it so personal to me, is that the dad reminded me of my dad, and the mom reminded me of my mom, and the brother reminded me of my sister for some reason, and I was Dewey.
So you felt connected to it.
Well, that's the thing, dude. I self-projected myself into it, but like, bad things happen to the children in that show all the time. Dude,
Yeah.
why did I self-project myself in there? What was wrong with me?
All I can remember from that show is there's a fight in the schoolyard, and the kid in the wheelchair has knives coming out the side of his wheelchair. That's all I remember from the entire show. Like, I was like, that shit killed me when I was younger. I was like, yo, that's fucking sick. And that's all I remember.
Actually, did you watch Arrested Development?
No.
No,
I started it, I think. I watched one episode and I was like, this is odd. But I didn't give it
weird.
a proper
Yeah.
chance.
It's
Because
good,
Michael Cera in it, doesn't it? If I remember.
I don't. Does it?
I believe so. Isn't he like a kid in it? Let me
It's got
check
Jason
the cast.
Bateman. Jason Bateman's in it, but I don't think Michael Cera is.
I believe. Am I thinking of a different show?
I think so.
Characters.
Okay, Ben Stiller's in it.
What show am I thinking of? What the? Wait, hang on.
Tony Hale's in it though, and Tony
Michael
Hale's great.
Cera sitcom.
I don't know. Michael Cera sitcom. Oh wait, no, Michael Cera,
Yeah,
isn't it?
Michael Cera, yeah.
Yeah, he's George Michael. I forgot. Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't even know Michael Cera was in it.
Yeah, like I thought he was.
Who's the fella who looks like Michael Cera? He did the Facebook. Jesse Eisenberg.
Heisenberg.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah, Jesse Eisenberg, sorry, yeah.
Like it must have been very strange for those two to be like born like so similar to each other but be different actors, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I wonder, does that ever come to the point where you're just like, oh god, they're kind of like the weird awkward guys, you know? Like that's the characters that they play as well, and you're just like, wow. You wonder how many times that they both went for the same role, and like which one got it over the other? Because like,
Oh yeah.
that must be like an ultimate little rivalry. You know what I mean?
Because to be honest, I could see Michael Cera doing a great job in Zombieland. Like he would have fit in just as well as Jesse Eisenberg, right? Like,
yeah, definitely. To be honest, Zombieland 2 is being made.
Oh,
soon,
dude,
isn't it?
right? Zombieland 2 double tap. I'm so hyped.
They should put like Michael Cera in it.
They
Just like,
should.
just,
That'd be
I'm
fucking
you,
great.
and you're me. What the fuck?
That'd be fucking awesome.
Oh, actually, have you watched 30 Minutes or Less?
I haven't.
Ah.
What is that?
So it's Jesse Eisenberg's in a comedy with his mate, right? And
Oh,
so
I keep
basically,
seeing this in work.
yeah, it's really good because there's a bomb strapped to them, and if they don't rob a bank in 30 minutes or less, it explodes.
Ah.
Yeah, that's an interesting
I need
premise,
to
right?
watch more, like, to put it lightly, trashy films like that.
Yeah.
You got, because you know it's not made. They've made it. They've gone like, what if we get these 4 goofy boys, strap a bomb to them, and they gotta do something? You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
the whole premise and like the pitch for the film was that, and they were like, let's do it.
It's kind of
just
like
go.
the like Pineapple Express and This Is the End
Yeah,
and
this
stuff like
is
that.
yeah,
It's-
like where they
you'll
just
you'll
go
never
like,
remember it afterwards.
oh,
You
it's
just
Seth
won't.
Rogen. Oh, it's like,
Yeah. Remember Sausage Party? I don't.
I've never seen it and I never will.
Really?
Yeah, I don't want to.
It's okay. It's all right. Like,
Like,
listen, to be honest,
As much as I love their shit, like, don't get me wrong, I loved
Mm.
fucking The Interview. I actually really enjoyed this, like, This Is the End or whatever the fuck it's called.
yeah.
Because I love
This
shit
Is
movies
the
like
End
that,
is my favorite movie
but-
that they've done.
I'm not watching Sausage Party. I just can't bring myself to. I don't know why. There's just something about it that just makes me go like, ugh.
It is a very
No.
like when you are watching it, it does feel a bit strange because there's lots of sexual innuendos and stuff like that.
Because I've
But
heard it's constant.
it's constant sexual innuendos, but it's like I don't know what it is. It makes it weirder because they're actual pieces of food,
Yeah.
you know, and it just
And it's animated like it's for kids, and that it's just odd.
I guess so.
Weird.
I don't know. I always found it like I don't know. It's I don't know. It's very strange.
Maybe I'll
Like,
watch
there's-
it one day. Maybe.
Have you watched Superbad?
I have. That shit's fucking
That's
great.
so good.
Such a
I'm
good
making
film,
love
dude.
it.
Oh, dude. I just love the police officers.
Yeah. Oh, dude, I gotta give that a rewatch very, very soon.
Dude, it's been a
'cause that
while.
movie
Is
is
it on?
so good.
It's on Netflix. We're watching it after this.
Oh, fuck, are we? All right, I'm down.
Is
Let's
Superbad
do
on
it.
here? Let me
Let's
check
have a look.
Netflix dead quick. Superbad. Oh, dude, it's on here.
All right,
Dude.
let's do it. Right afterwards, let's super bad. Hi
So
guys,
it's
we
30
found
minutes for
our
less.
plans for after the stream. What have you guys thought of?
Mate, they're all on here. They got This Is the End, Project X, Pineapple Express, Superbad, 30 Minutes or Less. Boy, it's all on here.
Yeah,
Netflix is hooking us up, dude.
Dude, have you seen? Oh, by the way, do you know Sacha Baron Cohen?
The name rings a bell.
Borat.
Oh yeah.
Did you know, literally new on Netflix right now, I have never seen him in a serious role before. And on Netflix, there's this show called, I think it's a movie actually. It's actually a series. It's called The Spy. And it's Sacha Baron Cohen taking on a completely serious role.
Oh,
and
what the
it's
fuck?
so fucking weird.
I can't help but see Borat.
Dude, I'm gonna be real. I've watched 4 episodes of this, and it's really good. Like, I'm gonna be real, dude. I've always said that Sacha Baron Cohen is like a amazing actor, just like above the rest, right?
Wait, who did he play in?
Huh?
Who did he play in Madagascar? Was he the lemur?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Because I've just clicked him on Netflix to see what else he's been in on Netflix, and it's just all Madagascar and Spy.
It's Madagascar, Spy, Borat. Did you watch Bruno, by the way?
I watched it, but not like all the way. I couldn't.
Bruno was like a hard watch, right?
It was a mess.
Yeah. Like, it was...
You know, when the dick spins around and then stops and says Bruno, that was around the time I turned it off. I was like, yep, that's enough. That's enough for me, that.
Yeah, like, it was just one of those movies where, like you kind of sit there and just like, how did this get released? But at the same time, you're glad it's a thing.
But at the same time, it was like, because you're glad that some films push the boundaries of what's allowed, because it means other films can be like what they want to be without censoring themselves, because in comparison to shit like Bruno, they're fine. But I'm hoping my mic didn't pick that up. I just sort of like internally burped. And,
well, I didn't hear it on Discord.
yeah, but Discord's shit at picking up anything.
Okay.
But it's kind of like how, I don't know if this is true or not. I remember hearing this, but apparently with South Park, when they'd pitch their like episodes to Fox or whoever it was that aired the episode, they would do like, they would put scenes in that are unbelievably offensive, like next level, like, because they know Fox would be like, yo, you can't put that in. So that the jokes they want to put in that are like quite offensive, but normally Fox would be like, no, cut that out. In comparison, they don't look as bad, so they end up staying in.
I remember when
I heard
South
that.
Park got in really, really bad trouble for like actually putting the Islamic prophet, like Muhammad, in like an episode.
Did they?
Yeah, they actually put like the actual like a real, well, you know how like there's the Council of Gods, right, where you have Jesus and you have like a bunch of other religious figures, like like all that type of stuff. Like there was one episode where the Prophet Muhammad was, sorry, I keep was on it, and then the next episode, that one of the next episodes afterward, they're just like, yeah, the Prophet Muhammad isn't here anymore. It's like what the fuck, it's so strange. Oh no, they actually blackbarred him out. I think they blackbarred him out and stuff. Oh, and there was the episode where they were just like,
because I remember they were
Fox
ripping into Family Guy.
Yeah, but did you see the episode where they were where they were like, Fox said they were like saying fuck too many times, so they just decided to do the fuck counter. Yeah.
That was genius.
It's like,
no, because I remember there was an episode that was it fucking South Park did where they were ripping into Family Guy, and they put Muhammad in that. I remember South Park parody Family Guy. Let me check. Because they did a thing where it was like, oh, hey, Muhammad. And then he like came through the door and it's a big black box that just says like censored by Fox.
That's the one.
Something.
Yeah, that's one of the episodes. Yeah.
I remember that one. I don't remember anything else.
It's like they did a lot of stuff. I don't know how they got away with all the probing that they did. You know what I mean? Like, there's an episode where like Cartman like kills these dude's parents and then like feeds them to him.
Because he turns them into chili.
Yeah. And then he starts licking their tears and stuff like that. Dude, can you believe like that show came out when I was born? And I've watched every single season.
Dude, I used to watch it. That's probably why I was so fucked up. like,
I don't know. I think
it just desensitized us to shit. That's all it does. Which is a good thing.
Right.
Like, I don't want to be like watching shit and being offended all the time or being scared all the time. You know, like
Yeah, like that's the thing. That's the thing when like whenever I was younger and stuff like that, my parents like at the age of 5, my dad was just like, here's Doom, play it. And I was just like, okay, cool. And then after a while, I was just like, this is a bit scary, but now I can appreciate this. And then my dad would just be like, you can't do this level, and I'm just like, leave it to me, bitch.
well, that's
Got all
what
the
like
time in
I.
the world, you know.
It's
But, like,
kind of
that's
like
that's the
I
thing.
had
Like,
two older
sorry,
brothers
Yeah.
that desensitized me because they bully the shit out of me because they're two my older brothers.
Yeah.
Like that's like just what they do. It's brothers. So when I went to school and people would try and bully me, I'd be like, yo, this is fucking nothing. Look at the size of you. You're not my brother who's like towering over me. Come on, let's go. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
That's what it kind of works the
toughen
same
you up
way.
in a different way, right?
Yeah.
Like the same thing with say like swear words and stuff like that, right? Like or
Fuck.
like sex talks or anything like that.
Penis.
My parents would always come to me and just be just like, okay, so you can say fuck whenever you want. Just don't say it. Just like be cool and don't say it around family members and stuff like that because it makes things very awkward. And
See,
they're
that's
like
what-
bad words and stuff. And I was just like, okay, I get it. But then
and I was
was
like,
given
fuck you,
permission-
mom.
Yeah. No, but dude, I was given permission to say fuck and shit and all that type of stuff, and then I didn't want to say it anymore.
Well, like, for
You
me,
know?
it wasn't a case of I wasn't allowed to. It was just, like, my mum was like, just don't
Language.
say it at me. Don't say it at people. Like,
Yeah.
like, if you're going to swear, cool, whatever. Just don't do it in front of me, and don't do it at me or at people. And I was like, you know what? That's completely fair. And
But
I always, even though I'm 22, I'll say a swear word from my mum and I'll feel my heart drop. Like,
Oh.
I still get it, and I'm like, what?
Really?
Really? Yeah, it's just like one of those things that's been ingrained in my head since I was little, so it's just one of the things you just don't pass, you know what I mean?
You just you have a swearing filter with your mom. You can't say it
I do.
anymore.
Yeah.
Dude, my mom swears like a sailor. My dad swears like a sailor. Like
Yeah,
no
my
matter
mum's
how it
Scouse,
is,
she swears all the fucking time, but
right? It's just
I mean,
y-
I just don't like doing it in front of her. It's just, I think it's just like out of respect, you know what I mean? Like, it's my mum. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, fuck you, oh, fuck, oh shit, oh, I dropped my pencil, oh, fuck.
but that's the same.
I actually
thing, right?
learned to censor myself, and it's slowly becoming my actual, like, swear words. Because when I was working
heck
in
and
the
stuff?
kitchen, when I was working in the kitchen, if I dropped something, I'd sort of, because my mum worked there, and then it was just like, you know, I didn't want to be swearing all the time in front of like the old people and that.
Yeah.
So I tried to censor it with like, instead of saying shit, I'd say sugar.
And
And now it's just becoming like my genuine like I'll drop something, oh sugar. And I'm like, wait, what the what?
Dude, that's the granny swear word.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's actually becoming
sugar.
yeah, it's actually becoming my like actual. Right, what's the word?
Your
I'm looking
actual
for?
vocabulary. It's
Yeah,
just
the
like
vocabulary. That's the one. Yeah, but I'm like, you know what? I'm happy with that. It's different. You know what I mean? You know all these like, you go on the internet and everyone's going, "Fuck you," or "You fucking cunt too," fuck. And I
That's
can just be
the-
like, "Hey, you, I want to sugar
You
on
sugar
your
plum
face."
fairy. You better relax right now before I give you a kiss on the cheek.
I will pat your head, sir.
I will look down at you disapprovingly, but with love.
I wag my thumb at thee.
My index finger wags.
That's it. You bite your thumb in it. That's the Shakespearean insult. Biting thumb at someone. Say,
I
Fuck
take
you,
off
cunt.
my white glove and challenge you to a duel.
ah.
But that's
You
the
want
thing,
to
though. I always
duel?
say this. I always say this to people because I don't know. This is how I was brought up. I feel like this is how I'm gonna bring my kids up and stuff like that. If you treat your kid like an adult, even when they're not, and you say, okay, so this is the reason why you can't say it or stuff like that. Because every time my parents would just be just like, don't do that, and like, and then just walk away. I'd just be like, why?
Yeah,
Right?
because
So-
if you don't explain why, it just makes them want to do it.
Right, exactly. So
Like,
like
if-
my parents were just like, okay, so anyway, here's all the swear words, here's all this type of stuff, all that type of stuff. Like, oh, you know, like here's what sex is. And I was just like, wow, Mom,
You
I'm
put the
13. I
lime in
know
the
this already. And
coconut
they're
and
just like,
shake
okay,
it all
awesome.
up.
Okay, awesome. That's good. That helps out. Oh,
Yeah. Well, so
actually,
wait, was that your age when you had the talk? Like 14.
So I had the school talk at 12.
Yeah.
But since I was at a very, very religious school, it was all about like, so say if you hold hands with this person, you could get them pregnant and all this type of stuff.
If you masturbate,
like-
you'll grow hair on your palms.
Oh yeah. The whole if you masturbate or if you do anything like this, you'll go to hell.
I'm on my way.
Yeah, like I'm on my way. Wayward son.
Wanking at
There'll be
90.
peace when you are done. I don't know why I
Oh,
wanted to sing
we
that.
were singing different songs. It's fine.
Yeah. No, but actually,
was
that's
doing
the
Ed
thing, because
Sheeran.
like I was brought up in a very Roman Catholic. My parents aren't religious; they don't give a shit. They don't, like they were just
Yeah,
like,
same.
oh shit.
My
Like,
mum just wanted to send me to a Catholic school.
No, that's the thing, right? They literally said to me, they're just like, listen, when you're like you have to be Catholic to go to school in Ireland, because that's just how it works here. If you're not Roman Catholic, you can't go to school here. I don't know if that's changed. It probably has, because Ireland's become a very, very diverse place now. But when I was younger, you had to be Roman Catholic. So you sometimes you were taught by nuns. Sometimes you were taught by sometimes the priest would come in and be just like, don't masturbate because then you'll go to hell. Then he'd smack the table with a ruler a lot. Yeah, it was really scary. It's really scary, all that type of stuff. And then the teachers would just be just like, yeah, like you can't do all this type of stuff. Did I ever tell people this story that I walked in on my teachers like making out when I was like 13?
No.
All right, so yeah,
I
basically.
mean, right. Let me grab my drink. Hang on. This needs some popcorn, dog. I mean, let's go. Let's go.
Well, I don't know. It doesn't sound like. Listen, it doesn't sound
Spill
as
the
cool of a
tea.
story, right? So, like, anyway, so my principal was for privacy's sake, right? His name was Mr. Stone.
Now that's edgy. He sounds like a fucking Marvel villain.
his
No,
name
dude,
was
he's
Mr.
Dr. Stone. Oh, shit.
Shit, dude, he was Dr. Stone, right? And then
Yeah.
the teacher on the first floor who taught the senior infants and the junior infants, which is the first two classes that you get when you go to school. She was, for privacy's sake, Mrs. Crackers. Anyway,
Fuck? What type
Mrs.
of name
Crackers.
is that?
Well,
Didn't you say you had a clown that you were scared of called Mr. Crackers?
no, not Mr. No, not Mr. Crackers. No.
Who was the one you were scared of? What was the name? I remember you telling me. No, you were told that there was like a monster that'd get you.
I can't remember.
You said something
can't
like Mr.
remember.
Crackers or something. I don't know.
No,
Anyway, carry on.
No, okay, no, you see, my parents would tell me this when I was younger, right? That Mrs. Crackers was going to come get me and like take me to come live with
Oh.
her. But Mrs.
Oh,
Crackers is
right.
this teacher.
Right, okay, all right.
So if
Shit.
that makes so
The
that
story
makes
all
sense,
adds up.
right?
We
So
come full
anyway,
circle.
Mr. Stone and Mrs. Crackers, right? We're just kind of like getting it on in the room for some reason, right? Getting on
Okay.
in the room for some reason, like not going too crazy, just like having a little bit of a cheeky, like you know, kind of thing.
In it like Mr. Skinner and Mrs. Crabapple.
Yeah, so I was playing hide and seek, and
I see it. Oh my god, carry on, sorry.
and,
I see it. This is-
basically, I just wanted
Oh.
to. I was a cheating bitch when I was younger. I'm gonna be real, dude. I was a bit of a cheater. Like they were just like, no hiding inside. I hid inside, so I was under the desk. And, and I just see above me, I just like peek my head out and I'm just like, ah, shit. The two teachers that are very, very religious and say that you shouldn't do anything like, before marriage and stuff like that are fucking having a snog right now.
Oh, shit.
So I'm there like in my head, right? I was just like, if I stay under here, they won't notice me here, right? But then I panicked and ran out the door.
Dun, dun.
like in my head, I was just like, they're gonna find me and then they're going to kill me. But literally, like after a while, they would go through the classes and be just like, because I was taught by the headmaster, and he was just
Right.
like, was anybody in the classroom? From the break. And everyone was like, "What do you mean, master?" Because we had to call our teacher master for some
Oh,
reason.
that's weird.
Yeah, it's very,
To be
very,
honest,
very
they are the
strange.
headmaster, so I get it.
Yeah, well, he's Master Stone. So Master Stone is like, "What do you mean, Master?" And of course, I knew exactly what was going on. I was like, if anybody like, you know when he knows it's you,
Oh yeah.
you know, if
Yeah,
anybody
he's
would
giving
like
you the
to come
side
up,
eye, like.
yeah, if anybody would like to come up and talk to me about what happened at break, what happened, Master? Nothing. And of course, I'm looking at him with the most guilty look on my face. You know what I mean? Like just going like, that kind of thing. He's just like, if anybody would like to stay after class just to figure this stuff out, and I was just like, no. So as soon as the bell, dude, as soon as the bell rang, I ran on the bus. I was like, and dude, they never brought it up again. I can't.
Dude, that's fucking crazy.
You know, actually, when I retell that story, it's not as cool as I thought of it in my head.
No, I can see it all though, and
Yeah.
it just sounds so funny. Just you under a desk, like, my friends are never gonna find me. I'm the best. Pokes head up, zoinks.
Cause like
so cool.
literally at the start of the day as well, the priest came in to give us the talk as well. So it just landed so perfectly together that you were just like, what? What's going on?
That was a life lesson for you. That was a moment you knew that you had to rise up against religion. Like, this is all bullshit. They're all doing this against us.
Religion is just a tool to control the masses, man.
They're all hypocrites. From that day on, you never called
because
them.
two of my teachers were snogging in the classroom. And
From that day on, you never called. And they didn't have a condom on.
They held hands, and now she's pregnant, so she must have gotten abortion.
But from that day on, Blair never called him master again.
Oh,
But bitch Stone.
dude, I called him the Stone Sinner. I reported him to the priest. Did you ever have to do that?
Well,
Okay, so you lived in a normal school, right? So when we like were doing Kate, so I wasn't an altar boy, right? But I had to help out there a lot because of like stuff like that, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, all the kids who were down at the priest thing, he would always be just like, if any of them are doing anything wrong, you have to report it to me. And I was just like, this is very culty.
yeah, that's a bit weird.
Right, so like say like if people were messing with stuff or smoking or anything like that, like they'd just be like, oh, you have to tell the priest or else they'll go to hell. And it's just like, and I was always just like, this is really creepy. And later down the line in life, that was really creepy.
Because, like, I always wondered to myself, like, how are people still, like, mega religious in this day and age? But
It's fear.
it's because of stuff like that, yeah. That's how you're raised, innit? Like, purely.
Like, don't get me wrong, man. I'm gonna be real. Like, I don't hate religion or anything like that. I actually support people to be happy because life is so long. Dude, if you wanna pray to somebody, like you have to do something, right? Because the world is scary, and sometimes you need an outlet. I wish I could have that outlet, but I don't.
Yeah, dude,
I
right?
can't.
Like,
Yeah.
life sucks. If you could find one thing to hold on to that makes you think life has more meaning and all this,
Right?
fucking go for it.
That would be
By all
really
means.
nice, right?
Yeah. So I mean,
Like-
if I could believe that there's a bigger picture than what you're living in, I'd be like, hell yeah! If there's a big dude up there who's looking over me, being like, "Yo, dude, if you're good, when you die, we're gonna hang, we're gonna have some beers, we're gonna like,
Right?
we're
Like
gonna play
that would be
some foosball, it's
that
gonna
would be cool,
tight."
right? Like
I'd be like,
every time like my priest would be just like, oh, here's heaven, it's angels and it's puffy up there, and like, you know, you'll live in eternal bliss. And then it's just like, but what does eternal bliss feel like, sir?
Well,
What does
God's
that
just up,
mean?
God's just up there, and he's like, "Yo, I got a Nintendo GameCube, Mario Party 6, and a couple of cool ones. You want to hang?" And I'm like, "Yo, dude, that sounds tight. Let's go."
That's the thing that I always like. I love having conversations with religious people, like really, really big conversations, just to try and like figure out that type of stuff. Because in my head, right, it's not like, it's definitely my fault Like whenever I hear somebody religious or anything like that be just like, oh, okay, like, here's why I'm religious and stuff.
Yeah.
I'm just like, you're crazy. Like
What the fuck?
it's not I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm actually saying that in a good way. It's not good to be normal in this society, right? Everybody
Yeah.
needs some sort of outlet, right? But in
Oh,
my
yeah,
head,
definitely.
whenever I hear like the scriptures and stuff like that, because I was indoctrinated from a very young age and stuff, I'm just like, whoa, like I can see this. I could make one of these, like that's in my head. That's actually what I'm thinking of. But
Well, it's like, it's still crazy to think that like a lot of people follow these scriptures when like you have no proof of who wrote it and
right.
all. It's just crazy. It's like, I understand, like it's been around for fucking years. So it's like, yeah, that's cool. But who's to say that someone soon will like write a book and then like it'll be found thousands of years down the line that people will think like, oh, this is religious scriptures, and it's just Kanye West wrote a book. You know what I mean? And it's all this crazy shit, and now like, oh, they're all like, oh, praise Kanye. You know what I mean? Like,
Dude, the holy god Kanye, dude, welcome to the church of hot bars and the 300 Romans.
Jesus.
No, but like
I know,
that's the thing though. I always like I'm a super duper atheist, right? And like I've got so many religious friends and stuff like that, and we're able to have these kind of conversations. But like, like I'll always say this to everybody. Like, just enjoy the happiness that you can get from everything that you like, right? It's the same
Yeah.
thing if you're enjoying, like, cartoons or anime or fucking video games or anything like that, or, like, gods or, like, anything like that. If you like meditation, if you like drawing, you like anything like that. You gotta make sure that you're you're happy. Because at the end of the day, I'll always say this. Life is long. People always say it's short, but people only remember the good bits and the really bad bits about life. All the normal bits in between, you don't remember those. You know what I mean? Like, you don't remember the time that you were traveling on the bus and you just had like a kind of nice snooze. You know what I mean? You're just like, feeling pretty good, to finish off the rest of the day, right? Because, like, you gotta find things in your life that you can be happy about and support yourself with and just push yourself to do different types of things. Because I don't know if I've ever told you this, right? But when I figured out that I wasn't important, like kind of like, okay, that sounds weird.
Whoa.
When
You're
say
important
say
to
like,
me, Blair.
well, like, no, but I mean, like, when I figured out that, like, there wasn't a god watching me and I wasn't like the main character of my story, like
God's scheme.
yeah, right. When I realized that I was an insignificant little ant on a flying ball in space, I felt so relieved. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like so relieved,
like
because then
you
I could
don't
do
have
whatever
to
the
be
fuck I
someone-
wanted. You
Yeah,
know?
you don't have to be this like world changer if you don't
Right.
want to be. Whereas like religion is like, you wanna be as good as you could be for God. God wants to watch you do everything, and he's like, oh, you gotta do it good. Whereas
Right.
when you are just this little dot on a larger thing, you can just be like, what I do isn't gonna do much.
Dude, if you're a good person and you realize like everything's like, it makes it sound really depressing when you say like insignificant, but like I feel like insignificant things can become so important to everyday society.
Oh,
It
yeah.
doesn't matter. You don't
Yeah,
have to be
definitely.
important to everybody. You just have to be important to one or two people. Like, you know
Like
what
you
I
could
mean?
make
Like,
someone's day just by like, I don't know, they drop their key, you pick it up for them. That's it. You could make the day.
yeah. Imagine being nice for the sake of being nice and not because God told you to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's what I do. That's what I do. God, you could eat a dick, but I'll be nice to people, I promise. like I don't get it. It's weird because me and you both grew up in Catholic schools. You in a bit more of an intense one, I'll say that.
Yeah.
But it's kind of mad that you come out of it not religious, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's kind of doing the opposite because it makes you hate that shit. Because
It always it does, doesn't it? Because like when you see the like super duper religious societies, right? The super duper religious ones, like Mormonism and like Jehovah's Witnesses and like all those type of things. They always have these very constricting rules, and they're only really allowed to marry each other. Like
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So you kind of just sit there and Like if you guys are any of these, like we're not talking shit on you or anything like that, dude. If you're happy in that society, then you be happy.
If you're in any religion, fucking do your thing, yo.
Yeah,
Do your damn thing. Like
do your thing.
We're just speaking from our point of view of being like coming from a Catholic background and being like, what the fuck was all this shit? Like,
Because you were Church of England, weren't you?
No, I was Catholic. Catholic and
Roman.
Church of England.
Oh,
Yeah,
so
I was Roman Catholic in primary school, then went to a Catholic and Church of England high school.
Oh, you got. Oh, wait. Okay. But were you
Yeah,
like
it was weird.
baptized and like stuff like that as a Roman Catholic?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Yeah. So
I used to go to church every week.
Me, then.
In school, we'd walk down with the boys. You'd get the
Oh,
boys
you
together.
walk down to the church with the
You'd
boys,
walk down to the
dude?
church. It'd be like, yo, we go to church. And then you'd sit in all the rows. You'd sing the bangers.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then I remember me and my mate Sam laughing at it's very bad. Now that I think back to it, it was really bad.
No, oh
But
no,
we had
Scott,
this really fat teacher that used to sit in front of us.
Oh
and
no,
Ross
Scott.
would hang off of the bench, and me and my mate Sam would lose it. But,
No.
you know, I'm a good boy now.
No,
I've
I'm gonna
amended
be real,
my
though.
sins.
Those fucking benches, like,
God, they were awful.
you would think that like one of these fucking churches would upgrade those fuckers. You know
No,
what I mean?
but the very front ones had fucking cushion. It was cushioned.
You had
The rest of them were wooden.
what type of 22nd century do you live in when the church fucking stools have cushions?
Yeah, the very front ones did, where all like the altar boys and all like the people who were in church all the time sit. Whereas we peasants, we sinners, had to sit on the wooden benches, man.
Dude, we had to.
Fucking
Did
livid.
you have the bits where you had to like get on your knees?
Well, it's how we used to accept the bread.
Oh no,
little-
no,
the
no!
little-
But like,
the little
like
cardboard.
like in front of the wooden things, there is a stool that you go to when you need to pray halfway through.
Oh no, we had like armrests on like the back of the benches, so that when you like
those
those
weren't
things loads of-
armrests, dude.
what?
That's when you're supposed to get on your knees and pray.
No, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We had armrests on the back of the benches, so that when he was like, everyone pray, you'd kneel down and have your arms rested on the back of the bench, with your hands prayed, like, oh, holy Jesus, give me your bread and wine.
Jehias. Actually, how long was your mass, by the way? Mine was could be up to 2 hours.
Yeah, it dragged on there. I can't remember. It was like, I haven't been to church. Like, I haven't been to church as in, like, for mass since 2007, maybe?
Yeah.
Maybe 2007, 2008. It's been that, like, 11 years.
It's
But, like,
fucking wild, man.
oh, it's been so long since
I
I've been
was
in a church. For mass.
baby
Might just
Blair.
go on Sunday. Just go to church.
Do you
Alright,
wanna-
boys.
Do you want to do when we're over in fucking Manchester?
The
church-
boys go to church. Take me to church.
I'm all about time. It's bad in my life, dude.
But the whole thing is completely serious. Like, genuine. It's shot like a documentary. We're sat there eating the bread, praying away, singing the hymns. We get up, we get the mic, and we're just like busting out some Jesus.
I actually
tunes,
like.
you know.
I always had this fantasy, like in the future, like of like if we do get fucking massive on thing, right? If we do get massive on YouTube or whatever.
If
I
we blow up, you got to make that happen, listener.
Yeah,
Share
help
it.
us.
You know what I mean?
I would love to do a documentary style, like a full on serious documentary style of all the shit that I don't understand. You know what I mean? Like, I'd love to.
Dude, that'd be so cool.
Right? Like, I'd love to like maybe go on these like religious retreats with these people and just
Like, we
figure
travel
this
to the
stuff out,
mountains,
right?
and we
Yeah.
hang with monks and be like learning all about like Buddhism and shit.
Dude,
That'd be so
imagine if
cool.
we went to the Shaolin Temple.
Dude,
Like, right? Like
we have a Shaolin showdown.
Shaolin Showdown.
I
the
challenge
Shaolin
you
Temple.
to a Shaolin showdown. Oh, like, dude, that'd be such a fun series. Like, just doing stuff that we don't like fully understand. Like, because you can't judge something until you know, like, you've done it or know about it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
like that'd be cool.
That's the
I'd be
thing.
so down for shit like that. Like, I don't know.
You see, that's the thing which I've always sat there and thought about. Like all the stuff that I don't understand. Like I always want to learn more about it. Not for
I mean,
the,
you
not
can't
for
knock
the
it till you
sake-
try it.
Like, well, that's the thing. I can't be converted, sadly enough. And I know a lot of atheists say this type of stuff and stuff like that. But like,
Well, I mean, like,
You know,
you
I just
don't
can't.
know until like, imagine like you are thinking all the time like, oh, I don't believe any of this shit, but then you go to like some like Buddhist temple and then they give you all this shit and your mind just goes like 200 IQ and you're like, and you're like, holy shit, and that's it. You just live on a mountain, shave your head, and just sit there for like 17 hours a day, and that's your life. Like,
do you ever like have those moments where you're like overworked and you just kind of sit there sometimes and you wish that you could pretend to have an easier life, just
Dude,
like to be satisfied with just like
there's so
being
many
in a
like
mountain or something, you know, like just being
so
a
many
woodman
times.
making shit out of wood, you know.
Like so many times I've like just like work has been shit or like, you know, like you're just sort of like, oh, I'm stuck in the same routine, stuck in this rut. The amount of times I've just wanted to pack a bag and just go into the woods and just build a life in the woods, just become like a tree man, you know, and I become that myth of like the kids who are like, don't go in the woods, the tree man will get you, and it's just me sat in a tree like with my Switch, just
you built your own
playing
little
some
tree
Mario,
house.
like with this little fire generator I've built to charge my Switch, and just there like eating like fucking dead things I've found, you know, just having a good time. Like,
Dude, you know what I've like gotten myself into now?
what?
Dude, I'm really into meditation now.
Oh, really?
Like super duper into meditation. Dude, I've
I
never.
went through a phase of that. I've never really took to it though.
It's weird. It's kind of the thing. Like, here's the thing. I've got a very, very overactive brain, right? So I'm constantly thinking about stuff. I'm like thinking about stuff like right now. You know what I mean? Like it's like there's images flashing through my head and stuff, right? But recently I've just been getting so relaxed by doing like guided meditations and stuff like that. Because the first time I did it in real life, and then I was just like I don't know, like it's kind of like I was kind of a bit uncomfortable because I was holding hands with people and like you had your arms and legs crossed and stuff like that, and you were just like, and at the time I was just
so that'd fuck me up. That I wouldn't find that relaxing. I'd be so like tense doing that shit with people.
it was weird. It was tense. It was weird, but it was also kind of like comforting in a way, to the fact that everybody else was thinking about nothing.
That there's other people there who are there for the sole reason of just sort of turning off. You know what I mean?
Like, and
I guess.
afterwards, you had such good conversations with people, and you know, with like, you kind of have like, you know, that weed smoking vibe where it's just like, yeah, dude, what's going on? Like,
Yeah, dude, it's just fucking.
Like none of us smoked or anything, but like we just afterwards, you were just like, I'm really happy we did that. You know what I mean? It was just chill. Everybody talked in a softer voice and stuff like that, and it was like such therapy, because like you don't realize how much it is to just think about something that doesn't matter, right? So that's why I do guided meditations, or you just hear the hum. That's why you do the hum or something like that, or somebody's talking, they're just like, okay, now you're gonna think of your forehead. Now just imagine that you're breathing out of your forehead, and you're just like, this is a bit weird, but then you think about it, and then you're just like,
oh, that fucked me up. I just tried it. Oh.
Right? You know what I mean? Like it kind of, but you're not thinking about anything else, right? And then
No,
you're just like, yo,
stop! You fucked me up.
Right,
I'm like
right?
thinking about it now.
Right?
Like, can I breathe out of my forehead? And you just sort of feel it, but it's
Yeah.
purely your brain just focusing on it so much that you feel something happening.
Yeah,
I used to do that a lot with a headache. I used to try and think like someone like punched a hole in my head, and then all the pain would like sort of steam out of it, and it used to work. Like if you think about it hard enough,
Yeah.
your brain can just be like, yo, this is happening. Yo.
Yeah.
Like, because I went through a phase of just meditation because I used to get a lot of migraines. And to like try and combat that, I used to sit in the dark, obviously, to try and combat it. And I'd just stick videos on, but just purely audio, just so I had something to keep me occupied while I was just sat in a dark room.
Yeah, yeah.
But sometimes I'd just turn it off and just sit there and just think. And just sort of, well, not think, but, you know, just like turn the brain off and just focus purely on breathing. And it would just chill you the fuck out. But I'd get to a point where I'd do it for so long where it just sort of start freaking me out, if you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
you
being like, this
can't
is
do it for
weird.
too long. Yeah, it's kind of like, it's a weird situation because it's very, like, say if you're doing it on your own, it's kind of like a very isolating experience, right? Actually, viewers, right now, just like, maybe just lie down, right? Lie down.
If you're on a bus, just sort of close your eyes.
Like if you're on a bus or somewhere, just close your eyes, right? Just block out the entire world. block out the entire world. Don't think about anything and just focus on your breathing. Like, your mind may wander and have a think a little bit, but keep bringing yourself back. Keep bringing yourself back to focusing on your breathing. And do that. Do that for like 10 minutes. And you'll see how hard it is actually just to like not think. It's
Genuinely,
so
it's so
weird.
hard to just turn your mind off for that long.
It makes me sound
Like-
so strange when I'm saying this type of stuff, but like meditation has helped me so much with life.
Like, I kind of did something similar last week because I went swimming. I went for a swim.
You did go swimming. You remember that?
Yeah, I haven't exercised like properly for about 5 years, and I went for a swim because I was like, I want to get back into shape, but I've not been doing anything. Like, I don't want to go to the gym yet. I just sort of want something to just go do, and then, you know, because if I was gonna go to the gym, I'd want to do something like treadmill or just something you can do in one go, like type of deal, just to build stamina before I started actually trying to work out. So it's like, I'll give swimming a go. I was like, yeah, that's a good idea. Because I used to be a fish in the water. I used to be sick. So as soon as I got in the water, I was like, yeah, cool, I'll swim properly. And I went hard immediately. And that was the biggest mistake.
Did you stretch?
But yeah, I stretched everything. That was fine. It was purely my lungs. My lungs just were like, boy, what are you doing?
Oh, yeah.
You're used to sitting in a room drinking energy drinks and not doing anything. I jump into water, which is completely out of my element for the past like 5 years, and just fucking going hard. Like, genuinely, it was so weird because I went and it was just me. I walked through the door to the swimming pool. I was like, yeah, let's go swimming. And I noticed it's just one lifeguard and no one else in the pool. And I was like, this is awkward as fuck. I walked back into the changing room and went, I've paid money. I've came all the way out here. I even got lost on the way. I'm going swimming. So I went in. I just started swimming, you know, I went quite hard, quite fast. And then after that, genuinely, I haven't breathed so hard in my life. I was just sort of sat there like, and the guy kept like glancing at me like, is he okay? Like, is he good?
Dude, at least you know. Here's the thing, right? You're the only person in the pool, right? If you did have an emergency, he'd be right on it. Yeah, he's only got one person to save. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he'd be right on it. But to be honest, the pool was a 1.5 meter. I could stand up, and it was like below my nipples in the deep end. Like, it was fine. But so yeah,
you just like flop all over like a fish, and your legs are in the air, just like help.
Yeah. And I just kept going, and it got to a point where I stopped trying to go hard, and I just went to exercise instead of like push myself. It was just like, you know how you just go for a walk?
Yeah.
I just started just going forward, backwards, just swimming. I was like, this is fucking chill as hell.
Yeah, but even
I was
if you're
just like-
even if you're
I
just
was just
doing
a-
that in the pool, it's actually like
Yeah.
a lot harder on your body than you think.
Oh yeah, it was. It got to a point where I was like, okay, this is actually getting harder. But it was just super chill because I was alone. You know, just the sound of the water because there was no one else there. It was just chill. But then I was like getting towards the end. I was like, I was getting to the end. I was getting to the end. I was like, all right, I want to push hard because I'm gonna get out soon. And then I pushed quite hard, and then I got to this point where I was like, I can't go on any longer. And I had the weebiest moment of my life, and I'm so happy because I was sat there at the edge of the pool. I was like, I want to do like 2 more lengths before I get out, but my body wouldn't let me because of my breathing. Like, I was the loudest thing in the world because I was just like, but then like I was like, the reason I was so out of breath is because I was breathing like an utter imbecile, and I closed my eyes and even said to myself like, total concentration. And then
were you just straight up doing fucking
I went
Demon
full
Slayer?
Demon Slayer.
Yeah, like-
yeah, dude. I went full Tanjiro, like, dude, like, first form, fish.
Second form in water.
No, but I genuinely just went like, hang on, like, the reason I'm so fucked is because of my breathing. So I started breathing properly, and I was like, okay, I can do this. And then I just pushed myself, and I was just like, I came out of there feeling fucking great. But it was just like, oh, it was weird. Also, like, halfway through, these 2, like, sort of middle-aged women came in and started swimming in the other lanes next to me. And they were just going for ages. Like, just normal swimming. Not, like, super hard, but they were just chilling, talking to each other. And I'm there doing the same after I've got it hard, like, doing the same as them. And I'm there, like...
You just, like, giving them high fives as you go past, like...
They're just jollily swimming, just chatting along. And then, the one dude left, the lifeguard, and swapped with this really cute lifeguard. And she kept looking at me, and I was like, don't look at me right now. I'm not in a state I want you looking at me in.
I haven't got to my third breathing technique yet.
Yeah. It was so funny. And then she kept walking around the pool, and every time she was so near me, I sort of glanced up, she looked at me, she smiled, and I was like, no, don't
smile at me.
Don't, I don't want to be seen right now.
I'm having trouble breathing as it is.
It was like, I am in the least attractive state I could possibly be in.
Dude, I haven't gone for a swim in such a long time.
It was fun.
Yeah.
But whenever I think of swimming, I just want to go to a water park.
Ah, yeah.
That's when things are cool as shit.
See,
but
I'm always like sitting there and I'm always thinking, like, you know, if I jump back into the pool and stuff like that, am I gonna drown? You know what I mean? Since
that's what I was thinking.
In a long time.
I got in the water and I was better than I used to be.
Really?
Yeah.
I was like,
because last time I swam, I was quite young, so I didn't have the strength, you know what I mean, to actually like push that much water. Whereas now, like, I've got more body mass. That's what I'll say. I won't say strength. I'll just say I've got a bigger body, so I can actually push water a bit more.
Yeah.
So, I don't know, it felt easier to swim. Not easier to keep swimming, because as a kid, I could go for a swim for about 4 hours and then come out being like, yeah, I feel good.
Oh,
I went for 45 minutes and almost passed out.
Dude, but
like,
as a fucking child, you've got, like, I don't know how it is. Children just have, like, refillable energy sources. You know what I mean?
100%.
They just have to get tired for 1 second and then they're gone again.
Oh, I miss being a kid. That shit was fun.
I don't actually. I love being an adult.
Really?
Yeah. I love just having the freedom to be just like, I'm gonna go do shit. You know, when I was younger, I didn't have anything to do.
As a kid, I felt like I had more freedom just because you had so much time off. And when you're in school, like, thinking back to, it might not be the same for you with your terrifying Catholic school, but for me, going to school was just 6 hours of hanging out with friends, you know what I mean, and just pissing about.
Oh yeah.
Whereas now, I'll go to work, I have to do work, and then if you fuck up in work, you've got, like, if you majorly fuck up, you can get sacked, you got all this, and then you're not gonna have any money, and you need money. Whereas in school, it's just, you go to school, if you get in trouble, oh, what, you go to detention, which you can just not show up to. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know, it just felt like you had a lot more freedom in school, which is weird to say.
Dude, we would get the stick if we didn't show up for detention.
See, yeah, we wouldn't.
Dude.
Ours wasn't, like, mega Catholic. Like, as we were saying before, like, in primary school, we went to church. In high school, we never went to church. The most we'd do is, like, the assembly, we'd do a prayer, and that's it. For a Catholic school, we did fuck all. Like, we had RE as a lesson, and that was, like, the most religious it'd get. But, you know.
Wait, RE? Is that religious education?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Did you call it RS?
We just called it church.
No, but did you not learn about other religions, or?
No, there was
No.
There was a Jehovah's Witness in the back of the class, and we had a couple of Islamic people in the back. But they during religious studies, they were just told to do their own thing. So it was kind of one of those weird things where you just you'd look back and they're just like throwing pencils at each other and stuff like that, and just like, wish I was Muslim.
Wish I was Muslim so I could throw a pencil at each other. That'd be funny. No, because like for us, we had RE. And all RE was it wasn't even solely Catholic. We'd learn about all the different religions, and it was more like of a choose your religion type of class. It wasn't so much as you're born to be Catholic, you're here, you've got to be Catholic, you got to be. It was just like, you know, it was just like, hey, here's all the options you got.
Would you like to learn about Hinduism? Religion? Maybe Buddhism?
Yeah, pretty much. We just learned about all the shit, but half the students were just like, religion isn't real.
Like, that's kind of how the generations are like being brought up now, isn't it? It's just like,
it is to a point.
Like we've all grown older now. We're just like, maybe not.
What's the thing? Like back in the day, it was everywhere you went was purely religion based, whereas now nothing is like that.
Yeah.
The only thing that we've kept from religion is having Sundays off work. That's like
true.
it, isn't it?
Yeah, I think so.
Because that's what I still find mad, that in this day and age with the technology and everyone's always moving, everyone's always doing stuff, we still have Sundays off because of church. I still find that
I'm
insane.
happy about that. Like in some countries, all shops are closed and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Like, Sunday shops aren't closed in Ireland. They close earlier, but they don't close.
Yeah, we have earlier. Like when I'm in work, I start at 10:30 and end at 4:30. When normally I start at 9 and end at 5:30. So Sundays we have shorter times, and I don't know. It's just weird. It's still just odd. Like I'm not upset about it or like angry. Like the shops are shuttered earlier. It's just like I'm surprised it's still
still a practice
like that in
right?
this day and age. You know what I mean?
Yeah, like
That's all it is.
I like having Sunday off. I do like having Sunday off, but like it does feel strange that like religion is the reason for it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And the fact that that's still the reason.
yeah,
There's no like, it's not like, oh, Sundays is the days the truck drivers have to rest because
the truck
they
driver's
need their
day
rest.
of rest.
No, it's purely just because Sunday is the day to go to church, and it's the day that God took off when he built the universe. He was just like, yo, I can make it in 6 and then I'd have a beer on the 7th, you know?
Oh, dude.
Like,
A bevy with the
weird.
boys, but you realised there was no boys to have a bevy with, so we made
so
them.
that's what, then he was like, Adam and Eve, make me some boys.
Right? And then out of nowhere, Adam and Eve ate the fucking apple, and then fucking God was
was
all
like,
just like, you bitch, I told you not to eat the apple. Then, but the snake told me to do it. Well, does this snake? I
And
didn't
he was
make
like,
a
"What-
fucking
What
snake.
fucking snake? And God's down there. I mean, Satan's down there like, wait, you fucking prank
Way,
dickhead.
mate.
Fucking.
But you wish you didn't
dickhead.
make me, do you, cunt?
And then he was also like,
Fucking
Satan was also
devil.
like, go subscribe to Boys on Internet, and thanks for listening to the podcast.
to the podcast.
Thanks.
Oh shit, are we going? We ending
Subscribe.
right now?
Mate, it's been like
it
an
is.
hour
Oh,
and 25,
we have.
like
Oh
3
shit.
minutes,
Oh
dude.
my
It's
god,
been a
I
long
think that
one.
went so
Yeah,
quick.
dude, right?
Yeah, I
We
didn't
were talking
even
about
realize.
Jesus.
I didn't look at the time at all. All right.
Yeah, do what Satan says. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. Check out all our
Hail
social
Satan.
medias in the description.
If you would like
There's
to
loads of
buy
them.
our Satan merch, we are now actually putting that in the description.
It's just Satan pointing up saying subscribe.
Dude, I'm gonna be real, dude. I've been having this idea, right? Like now that we've talked about this, I kind of want us to have a Satan shirt where like Satan has both of us in his arms, just like going, just like, you know?
Just like nuggying us. Like,
yeah, you
with, like
guys.
cute faces, and we're all like, stop.
Stop it, Ron. Stop
it, Satan. Stop it, Satan.
Satan.
Brian.
Brian. But Stewie. Fuck, I am also Stewie.
Wait, no, because Stewie would be like, Brian would be like, Stewie,
Brian.
Stewie, stop it, Brian.
Brian, we gotta
whose
end the
leg do I have to hump?
podcast.
Oh, we
gotta
gotta end the podcast.
podcast, Brian.
Yeah. Oh, I'm turning into
Brian.
Peter.
You can find all of our links in the description, and you can follow us on Twitter, and you can also follow the boys on the internet on Twitter as well. If you
Yeah, we've all got yeah, we got Instagrams as well. It's trying to be Peter, but it's going away.
Hey,
We
Lawrence.
also got
Peter.
the Instagrams and Twitters and yeah.
Peter,
like
tell
that.
him about the Patreon.
Oh, Peter.
We've also got a Patreon as well. We're still trying to figure out some certain gifts and little extra things that you can that will be added to the Patreon.
We sort of made it just because apparently there was rumors of Patreon changing how their tiers and shit work. So we were like, shit, let's make it before they change it so we can have the old way. So I just sort of threw it together, threw some tiers on. I don't even think it's up. Like, it's made. If let me just double check. Let me go on to patreon.com.
It's still on. Basically, it's just a tip jar for right
Patreon.com
now. But like eventually,
/
we will have cool incentives and stuff like that when we figure out what those incentives are gonna be.
Oh, yeah.
It's gonna be
It is
awesome.
up.
So
Oh, I need to go edit that. That's all the old art and shit.
that's right. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I forgot all the tiers we made. Well, I made.
oh yeah.
There's tier 1 is $1, which is you're cool. And then the description is we'll think you're cool. And then tier 2 is you're cool laugh. We'll think you're cool laugh. And then tier 3 is you're pretty epic. We'll think you're pretty epic. Then tier 4 or tier 5, whatever, is you're epic af. We'll think you're epic af. And then the last one is what? No, how? And that's $100 per month. And it was, don't do it.
Stop. But guys, thank you so much for watching.
We got some shit planned for the
yes, we
coming
do.
months. We've actually been paying some people for shit.
We've put like so much of our own money into Boys on the Internet. You guys have no fucking idea. So if Boys on the Internet like completely flatlines and fails, then we will.
We still had fun.
Yeah, we still had fun, but we're going back to the cardboard box.
Oh yeah. Well, we gotta pay for this nice wood cabin and couch.
I can't give up this lukewarm.
See,
warm
we'll
water.
live in like we're accustomed to this way of life now, so we can't go back.
Yeah.
So,
dude, they can try and kick us out, right? But like, I will just. Thank you guys so much for watching. We really appreciate it.
Get subscribed.
You can't just call our viewers pussies.
I'll call whatever I want, boy.
You gotta call them the big pee-pees.